What is up, you guys? TITOBODS here, and today we are going to do our very first Age of Empires Mobile hero tier list. We're going to focus on just Season 1 heroes. All of the heroes that is available, which are fighting heroes or can be fighting heroes, are going to be in this list. And if you like this video, we're going to do another one in the coming future, depending on how this video perform. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and also if you are new to the channel and you like Age of Empires mobile content, please do subscribe to support the community and our channel. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you will always be notified soon as we have a new video just for you guys. Okay, so before we start the video, the class ranks are here. We have S, A, B, C, D, and E. And also, I color the ranks depending on the rarity from our game, which are red, gold, purple, blue, green, and of course, gray, which is derived from the gems also in the game. But anyway, let's go start now. So we have here first our Queen Shondok. For those of you guys who haven't yet used or unlocked Queen Shondok, she is actually a decent hero to fill the lineup of the archers in Season 1. And for me, I feel like she is only used mostly in Season 1 and rarely in Season 2. And for her value on the lineup, I put her in D spot because she is not that kind of use and her skill is very limited for the use of the tactician archers. Now, YSS or Yusen Shin is actually a good hero tactician archer. His value is more exploited in Season 2 rather than Season 1, but he is a better commander or hero than Shondok. And you can actually use him in Season 2, but in Season 1, he could be the commander, but he isn't that well versed, especially in damage early on because you have lower stars, but he is a decent hero. We have here Oda. So the three swordsman martial are here. So Oda is actually a good addition to the martial swords, but they have a limit. Honestly, Oda, Ieyasu, and Tokugawa are actually on the same tier for me. Their combination is actually good if they are all combined. They can be a B tier, but for me, they reside in the C tier individually. But if they are used in the same lineup at the same time, they could be a B tier hero. Now we have here Sejong. Sejong is actually not used that much. He is a cavalry martial hero. He could be good as a healer in the lineup of El Cid, but I would rather place Bushra in that lineup if I were to use a healer support. So I put Sejong also in D rank for that matter. Now we have YSG. So YSG is actually one of those heroes that are very optional. He is also a bit ignored in Season 1 for some reason, but his value is a bit higher than Sejong, but I don't see him on the level of our C tier heroes, so I will put him in D. Now we have here our El Cid. El Cid is actually a decent commander. He just really need a buff. And in Season 4, you can actually see or compare his damages. And actually, he was buffed a little bit in Season 4 when it comes to his commander damage. But in Season 1, for me, he is a B tier because of the limited damage potential of him as a commander, which is not that great when it comes to the battlefield. Now, we have here Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, I may say, is a great martial pike commander in Season 2. Because we have Ram Kamheng and also Octavian unlocked in Season 2. So you can pair Julius, Octavian, or Bushra, or Julius, Ram, and Octavian in Season 2. So he could be a B tier hero or an A tier hero in that lineup. But for me, in Season 1, Julius feels like in B tier. So now we have Theodora. Theodora is actually a good support for the tactician itself. May it be the archers or may it be the swordsman. Now the best thing about her is her heal and also her additional damage to your troops. And since she is actually used from Season 1 up to Season 4 until now, I will give her a higher tier than YSS and I will give her a B tier. Now we have Philip. In Season 1, he is actually a helpful hero, especially when it comes to your swordsman lineup. Because in Season 1, there is only a few choices that you can use. It's either you can use Sun Tzu, your Theodora, or Philip, or you can use your Sun Tzu, your Theodora, and your Cleo. Because Cleo here is a Cavs and Swordsman tactician march. That is why Philip, in my opinion, is a decent commander in here. But he really isn't that much of impact to offer. So I put him in D tier. Now here is Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu is actually one of the best heroes that I think is very, very underrated. He tends to have a lot of potential damage depending on the support that he has in his lineup. And he is a really great commander in Season 1 as a tactician swords, and you can actually use him in Season 2, 3, 4, or actually 5 depending on the situation. If you don't have Ramesses, you can actually get Sun Tzu to do your bidding for you, and he's actually a great hero. So I will put Sun Tzu in A because of his longevity and value in your troop overall. So next we have Tariq. So Tariq is actually a hero that you can ignore maybe in Season 1, but he also has a bit of a usefulness in the Seed's March. If you're not going for tankiness, you can actually use him. But if you're going to use him as a commander, you can actually give a buff to most of the heroes in the battlefield. So I will put him in D tier. So next we have Harold. So Harold is actually a very useful hero for the warrior swords and warrior calves at the same time. Now his value is kind of low, if you're going to ask me, because of his signature skill mostly are used for buffs. There's actually a very low escalation of his or scaling of his attributes when it comes to the battlefield, especially if you have stats on him. So I will put him in D. I will never disregard him as a hero because if you do not have any choice to be a part of a troop, for example, for your warrior cabs or warrior swords, you can actually use him as an alternative. That's why I place him in D. Now we have here Bushra. Now Bushra is a very good support hero. But in Season 1, only troop that she can actually fit in is the Martial Tabs. Now she is a decent hero also in Season 2 up to Season 4 if you're going to ask me. If you do not have any other Martial Pikes and you run a Martial Pikes lineup, Bushra is always going to be there. She is actually a C tier for me, but kinda bordering going to B tier. The only problem I have with her is her ability to dish out heal at every 9 seconds instead of 6, and that is actually a very low point for me if you're going to heal only after 9 seconds. And one thing also is that her activation of her disarm is quite low for 30%. Then you can only activate that skill again to activate that disarm is another 9 seconds, so you're going to need to at least activate 3 times to get 1, and it's actually not a good value. So I'm bordering her between B and C, so I will put her here in C. And now we have Tribuana. In my opinion, Tribuana is actually a very good hero. Like, I am still using her right now in Season 4, and her value with Miyamoto is actually top-notch. I don't think you are going to like where I'm going to put her in the tier list because of her value in the lineup from Season 1 until Season 4. She is still that valuable. So in my opinion, your Tribuana should be in an S tier hero. And don't forget that I will not be adding or I will not be including King Arthur in this tier list because King Arthur is somewhat of a higher than S tier, especially that he is actually expensive to unlock to begin with. Her value with Miyamoto is actually top notch. That is why my bet for Tribuana is to be on an S tier. And now we have Hammurabi. Hammurabi actually is a good hero. Not to mention his skills to support your King Derek's route effect, and the combination of him, King Derek, and Miyamoto is also another lineup to behold. And for me, the value of your Hammurabi goes only to C, also bordering B but not quite there because of the lack of attribute scaling. Now we have Darius. Darius is like my Harald of the Pikeman lineup and Cavalry lineup because he is both Cavalry and Pikeman warrior, and I put him also on the D with the same value of Harald. And he is actually a good gatherer. That is why if we're talking about gathering, it's going to be on another level. Now we have Constantine. I know only a few of you guys have Constantine. Now, Constantine's heal is top-notch. It's really also hard to get him until you meet a certain VIP level. Now, why did I include Constantine? Because Constantine is actually achievable than King Arthur. And also, the tier of Constantine is legendary hero and not a mythical hero. So, I could include him because he is actually unlockable also in Season 1. With the level of the value that he provides in the troop and also his overall value as a hero, even without some of the important parts in the troop, he is actually a good part of a troop. Now, I will place him also in S tier based on his value and his overall contribution to the troop. Now we have Joanne. So Joanne is one of the few heroes that you can, or one of the two heroes that you can actually get early in the game. And with her value, she is actually a good addition for the warrior pikeman. And early game, she is actually a D tier hero for me. Now we have Josephine over here. Now Josephine is actually also a good hero for your swordsman warrior lineup and also your archer warrior lineup. Now the thing with Josephine is you can actually use her from season 1, season 2, season 3, even in season 4 if you like. That's how versatile she is. I will put her in the likes of your Theodora, your Julius, and your Elcid because of her overall value to be used from season 1 to season 4, her overall contribution and flexibility. You can actually use her anywhere, and that is why I will put her in B. Now, Cleo, on the other hand, is another thing. You can actually use her in a lineup with Hannibal and Justinian early game, and you can actually see her value after that. So, I think, in my opinion, since I used Cleo before on my main march with the Hannibal lineup and Justinian lineup before I got Ashoka, her overall value is actually here on the C tier. Now we have Guan Yu. Guan Yu is actually one of those heroes that are actually on the verge of being used, and then once we have a better hero, he will be out of the picture. Now Guan Yu is actually usable, or you can use Guan Yu from season 1 to season 3 up to season 4 if you don't have Timur. Now I will place his value on tops of Theodora, Julius, Elcid, and Josephine. We have Ashoka next. So Ashoka is actually a very, very good hero early in season 1. If you got him from the MGE, you will know his value in season 1. And with him, with Hannibal and Justinian, that lineup is actually almost unstoppable. So what I'm going to tell you right now is I'm going to put him in the A tier because of his overall value that he only possesses. And he is the very first tactician pikeman that was ever introduced in the game. And then after that, you can only see another tactician pikeman in season 4. That's how long his reign is. Now we have King Derek. When posed with the value itself, King Derek is actually a good combo hero for both your archers warrior or swordsman warrior. Now we have here your Hammurabi, King Derek, and of course Miyamoto. And when they are in sync with the route effect combo, they could be unstoppable, and I can place them in B tier if that is the case. Now we have here Rani. Rani is one of those heroes that you cannot get rid of because she is one of those heroes that are actually so much or give so much value to your troop, and even in the late game she is actually perfect even without replacing her with Timur. Your cavalry marches or your archer marches in season 1, 2, 3, 4 are also going to be good even if you don't replace her with anyone. Her value with the double attacks, her value with the boost is actually top notch, and I see her as one of those heroes that is actually an A tier because of her overall value in a top tier march. Now we have Hannibal. So Hannibal is actually high, low, high, low. That's kind of my expression of him. Because in season 1, Hannibal is a monster. Like, he was a monster. He's one of the top heroes that are actually in the game. And I want to put him in the S tier, but his value actually depleted in season 2. But still, we're talking about season 1. And actually, I want to put him in S tier, but we have a, I can put him on an edge of the A tier bordering S tier because of his overall value, the damage output, the value or the ability that he has to. And if you have actually used him in season 1, you will understand why I put him in A tier instead of S tier, because he has like this potential to be even better, but there is something pulling him out of that shell to be an S tier hero. Now we have Richard over here. Richard is actually one of those heroes that is a great commander in a great march, because the warrior pikemen are one of those troops that are so tanky. You can actually just leave them in the battlefield and you are going to get a lot of good exchanges in the field. Now, with the affordability of getting Richard and his overall use for season 1, 2, 3, or even 4 is actually an 8 tier kind of level in my opinion because of his overall value or as a usefulness or as a commander. Now the only downside of him is his Lion's Mark, because every time you're going to use your Lion's Mark in your commander skill, your Lion's Mark are going to reset and will give you a longer time again to trigger your signature active skill. So that's the only low point for me when it comes to your Richard. Now we have Freddy. Freddy is actually a hero also like Hannibal. He is a high-low. He is like he was used here in season 1 as a part of a good warrior pikeman. And in season 2 he was replaced. In season 3 again he was replaced, and in season 4 the Phoenix was reborn from the ashes. Now, in season 4, your Freddy is one of the top heroes that is actually reborn and revived. And he is going to be very useful with Cyrus and Mansa Musa in season 4. So, if I'm going to give you the value of Freddy in season 4, it's going to be an 8-tier hero because he is that much he's that much needed in that lineup. And when you use him in that lineup, it's actually going to be a monster lineup with Cyrus and Mansa Musa. That is why he is an 8-tier hero in season 4 for me. But in season 1, his overall value for me is actually on the B tier. Now we have Justinian over here. Justinian is also that type of hero that is good with sustainability, just like your Freddy. Now the thing with Justinian here is he is actually for me bordering from B to A, but I will put him in B because he has a limit in my opinion, and I think Ashoka is still a better fit or a better commander if a better hero if compared to Justinian. Attila is actually one of those heroes that actually you cannot ignore. He is that type of hero. His value in the archer warrior lineup or his value in the cavalry lineup, even in season 2, 3, 4, or any season, I won't change my Attila because of the value that he can provide. His signature skill alone is going to give you a lot of value. Now, with his flexible, customizable skill and his ability to be on both archer and cavalry warrior marches, that dominates his position as the third or second slot is actually unbelievable for me, and I really love him. Even though I don't use the cavalry march right now, I still have him at my 5 stars because of my Lubu, and actually he is a very good investment early on in the game. If I were you, I will invest on him, especially if you have plans with Lubu or Mulan. So for me, my Attila, based on the value, overall troop capability as a hero, I will put him in S tier also because of that. You don't really need to be an S tier hero or a damage type hero or a monster hero to be on an S tier in my opinion. You just need to be on that level of you cannot change or you cannot replace a hero this good. Now we have here Leonidas. Leonidas for me is a forgotten hero in season 4. I am really a little bit sad because I love Leonidas in season 1. I even chose him instead of Richard in season 1. But the value of Richard and Leonidas is almost the same in my opinion, but Leonidas only topping by a little bit for the spot for me because I have a soft spot on him. He's actually a good commander, better than Richard, honestly. But the only thing with Leonidas is that his ability is lacking one more punch. Like, Richard has 2 customizable skills that are actually both good damage counters. And also, the only advantage of Richard over Leonidas, in my opinion, is their scaling of their might and other attributes. And with that, I will place my Leonidas on an 8 tier. So this is actually, I'm going to first talk about Mulan because Mulan is the hero that I ignored in season 1. And I really regret it because Mulan is a monster, honestly. She is one of those heroes that you cannot ignore, and my bad that I ignored him or ignored her in season 1. And honestly, she is a beast. With the right heroes, with Attila and Rani, you can run her from season 1 to season 4 without fail. And in season 1, she is also a monster. That is why I will put her in an S tier mark without a doubt. Even in season 4, she is actually still a monster. Even with the addition of Attila, I will tell you that. Since you have already invested in her in season 1, and then when season 4 comes, she will be even more menacing in the battlefield. Even if there are a lot of Lubus in the field, your Mulan can still, even without Mehmed yet, your Mulan is going to be a monster even in season 4. Now, in my opinion, since I really love Miyamoto, I'm kind of biased on him because I will tell you 3 lineups that could persuade you to agree with me that Miyamoto is higher or a tier higher than this 4 here, even with Mulan. First, Miyamoto can be in a tanky lineup. First of all, you can use him in a super tanky lineup with Constantine and Tribuana. Every activation chance that Miyamoto make will give you another activation chance for Tribuana, and as I've said earlier, this 2 has the best combination in my opinion in the game, other than your Cabs and Mulan lineup. So they are also one of those combinations that you cannot disband or split up. So as I've said, you can use them or you can use Miyamoto in a super tanky lineup for your warrior swordsman. What kind of tankiness is this? Because your Miyamoto's commander skill has a 20% damage reduction every time it hits. Your Miyamoto also can trigger the heal of your Constantine and also can trigger a lot of the skills and activation chances again of your Tribuana. That is why when your combinations with the activations and the heals are present, also with the skill of Miyamoto, your troop is going to be tanky as hell. Now, actually, the second best lineup that you can only do in Season 1 next to your Tribuana and Constantine lineup is your Miyamoto, Tribuana, and your King Derek lineup. Now, that lineup is actually a good lineup, honestly, as long as you know to make sure that Tribuana has lower might than your King Derek, because the might progression or might scaling of your Tribuana is higher than your King Derek. And also, mind you that King Derek has a lower attribute scaling overall compared to Tribuana and Miyamoto. Now, in this lineup, you will be called like a route effect lineup also, even without Hammurabi, because you are going to take advantage of that route bonus that King Derek will give you, and with that, you are going to be a damage type of lineup also. And actually, it is not actually a glass cannon type of build, but it is somewhere near that level. Now, with the right skill of Miyamoto, having your Earth Crush early game, and then the route effect again from your the Earth Crush again from your King Derek, and then the right skills from your Tribuana, you can make this lineup a little tanky, but not like as tanky as your Constantine, but you can do it that way. Now, the next and third lineup that you can make with Miyamoto in here is actually Miyamoto, Hammurabi, and King Derek if you do not have Tribuana. So in that lineup also, what you will do is actually to trigger the route effect of every hero, because all of them has a route skill. So triggering the route effect of King Derek, and then the amplification of damage by your Hammurabi to your Miyamoto is actually a good thing. You don't need to control the stars though of Hammurabi, because King Derek has a higher natural attributes, especially of might, than your Hammurabi. Now, you can also use Miyamoto, Tribuana, and Hammurabi as a combination if you do not have King Derek, but it's not going to be as effective as if you have King Derek. Now, I think I have mentioned every potential that I have in this lineup. Now, let me tell you why I didn't place in E tier in this lineup. Now, honestly, I want to put in some. But I don't really want to be that kind of a jerk on this hero, because honestly, my D tier is actually the lowest tier that I can get. My E tier could be your epic heroes, but for me, the D tier is actually the lowest point for this legendary heroes, because all of these ones, or all of them are legendary heroes. The epic heroes are actually should be in E, because they really don't have that much to offer other than mostly heals and fillers for the troops that you really don't have any hero to fill in, but rather epic heroes. This is actually the first time I did this, and it's actually good to explain something while doing the tier list, and I hope that you have learned something from me on this list, not just watching what my tiers are, but actually understanding why I put them there. And I somewhat did a little bit of sharing of intel for the formations, and I hope that you have learned something from this video that I have made. And if this is going to be a successful video for our channel, I'm going to make another one for the season 2 and for the added other heroes that are going to be available from season 2 to season 4 if you like me to do that video. Now, the question is for you guys. Do we have the same tier list, or maybe you have other kind of recommendations, or maybe I missed out something? Whatever your thoughts are, your recommendation, or if you have any other opinion about my tier list here, you can leave all your comments down below and let's talk about it. If you are new to the channel, kindly do subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of videos, and don't forget to ring that bell so that you will always be notified soon as we have a video just for you. Don't forget to share this video, guys, and don't forget to like or give us a thumbs up so that we could be good with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, guys, as you know me, this is your TITOBODS. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.